Okay.
Yeah, we just had to throw that in there
Had to
because it's
throw it
Halloween.
in there.
Anywho,
Yeah.
NBA. Before we started, you had some piping hot takes.
Yeah.
Just kind of chilling on the top of your head. You want to we go back to those?
Yeah, so if you've been in the NBA like social media space for the past week, you've probably seen a lot of stuff about it's the 75th anniversary for the NBA. So they every anniversary, I think they drop like I don't know if it's every 10 years, every 25 years. I don't know. They drop like a top player list of any era. So this year was a top 75 list. It was in no order. It's just 75 players who released by the NBA too, like who are the quote unquote best 75 players of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our boy, right here, Dame Dotla, made the list, and
yeah,
a lot of people were really upset about it, which like it just kind of depends on how you look at it. I'll get into that in a second, but a lot of people were really pissed on like Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, whatnot, that Dame
Twitter
was on the
was
list.
popping off.
Yeah, yeah, it was wild, right? And I get a lot of these people were probably mostly upset because there were other people who deserved to be on the list that didn't make it, and they kind of all seemed to target Damian as like their scapegoat.
Yes.
Which that's what didn't make sense to me. Like I agree. Like people were pissed about Dwight Howard was one. Some Warriors fans are mad, like Klay Thompson and Draymond.
Klay Thompson himself was mad.
Yeah, Klay himself was mad. I know French basketball Twitter was pissed that Tony Parker didn't make it. Like all sorts of, I don't think AD made it. Like, and I can get like you can make great arguments for those players. Like Dwight Howard dominated like 2010s era. Like he was the best center at one point for several years. So I get that, and he impacted the game as a big man. Like, but it's more just the reason I'm pissed is one, I'm a Dame homer. Like so I will defend him no matter what.
Yeah.
So I'm biased as hell. I'm throwing that out there right off the bat. That being said,
I'm in the same boat.
I think thank you. Yeah. I think you're stupid. I think you're stupid if you think he's not on that list, though, because there's not 75 basketball players in history who are more talented than this guy. Like, there's just not. Like, he's 100% makes that list. And the only argument you can have, which is what I'm seeing, is that there's other players you think should be in there, like I just mentioned, and it seems a lot of these people are more focused on like accolades / like team success, which I get, like rings, MVPs, all that do play a big part
because that's just an easy way to identify that.
Oh yeah,
like that's obviously what they're gonna go for.
Yeah, of course, right? It's just totally understandable. Dame doesn't have a ring, like I get it, but it's like they're not factoring individual success at all. Like into it, which like I can kind of get, but like for example, Tony Parker is one, like no disrespect, great all time great point guard. Spurs dynasty, like he was killing in the playoffs with Tim Duncan, all those guys for years, right? Great all time point guard, but I simply do not think he's more skilled and capable of dominating the game like Damian can, right?
Yes.
But the reason people want him in over Dame is because he's won rings. He's established himself, right?
Right.
But that's more of a team-based thing, right? So when I'm thinking of this list, I'm thinking more individual success and like ability of the player.
Because that's the whole point of the list, to take them outside of the team.
Yeah, that's what I think. So of course there's debate around it, but I just don't get why people are pissed about him being there when you got guys like Ray Allen, which no disrespect. Let me explain. Well, actually, I don't even really need to. You probably know, like he was never a number one option. He was never like he was never a top 10 player in the league, or like he's just one of the best shooters of all, before Curry, the best shooter of all time, and an excellent, like he was a star, 100% a star, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think, and one of the greatest shooters ever, but he's not going to go out and drop 30 points per game and lead a team to the playoffs, and make his whole team better. That's like a LeBron type. It's like the S tier level of players. Like he was just simply a star player who played with other star players and won rings, right? Which is great. And I do think honestly, Ray Allen, deserving of like top 75. But if you're going to be mad that Dame's on it, then you should be mad that someone like him is on it.
Exactly.
Like, that might not be the best example, but you know what I'm saying. Like Ray Allen's not going to be the number one option on a team ever and carry them to the playoffs. Like, that's something Damian does. It's something LeBron does. It's like, those type of players.
Yes.
It's just wild to me. And then there's so many, like, old players, too, like, from the 60s, 70s, 80s.
That's kind of a hard call.
It's a hard call because, look, if you're the NBA, you have to do it, right? You're going to get so much slander from old heads on Twitter being like, Where's Will? Where's Bill Russell? Like, back in my day, you didn't even...
Where's Elgin Baylor?
You ever seen a hook shot? Elgin Baylor. Like, look, man, all due respect to the old era, right? Yeah. It paved the path for today, but the level of talent and athleticism was simply not there compared to today. It was still there. There are still players there that I think would be able to play in this league, right? But their stats were so inflated, dude. Like, dude, nobody's going to average 25 rebounds a game in this era. Nobody's going to average, over 50 points. Like, that's just not how it works today, right?
Yeah. No, I was looking at Wilt's, one of Wilt's seasons. Like, it was like his best season, like the one when he scored 100 points. Yeah. And I was just looking at it, and he averaged like 35, 40 points, something like that. Like 25 rebounds.
It's crazy.
Like, just 2K numbers. Like, 2K, he was just playing 2K out there.
Dude. On pro difficulty. Actually, no, rookie difficulty.
On rookie difficulty, dude. Like,
literally, like, look, there's kind of a meme that, like, Will was playing against, like, plumbers, and, like, a lot of people say that plumbers and, like, mailmen, like, people who, like, milkmen, like, part-time, like, people who got other jobs.
Straight up bartenders.
Yeah, like, bartenders. And, look, no, like, it's a funny meme, and, the talent was definitely not as good. But, like, no, he was still playing against, like, I remember hearing, like, the average height in the 60s was still, like, 6'7" or 6'6". Like, they're still tall, but the skill just wasn't there as much because basketball wasn't as established, and, like, people didn't have the, like, modern medicine even today, like, with dealing with injuries, like, support basketball shoes, all that stuff, compared with, like, the amount of trainers, amount of ways you can have access to getting better at the game. Like, it's just different today.
And I also think the big thing is you did not need to be, like, versatile. Like, you could have had one thing. Like, you could have made it in the 60s, 70s, you could have made it into the league with just being able, like, being 6'10" and being able to rebound. Literally. Like, that would get you, but that would hardly get you into college ball these days. Like, if you can't rebound and shoot threes and handle the ball, like, forget about it.
Yeah,
like,
forget about it.
Forget about it. You ought to be smoking Dons, you think you're getting in there.
Dude, no, 100% right, dude. The talent is just at a higher level. So I get why they put in old players, right? Yeah. Like, you got to show them respect. You have to put it on the list. But respectfully, I think a lot of those players, some of them are so good today, but some of them are just role players today. That's a spicy take, and maybe some people... No, it's not even that spicy of a take. There might be some old heads who might be pissed, and I'm not going to... Not disrespecting, like, the greats. Like, but... Is Elgin Baylor better than, like, Jason Tatum in today's league? You know what I'm saying? Like... I just don't see it. Like, maybe I have to go back and do my homework more because I'm not, as affiliated, with that era or whatever. But Jerry West, dude, like, he's the logo. He's a great, but, dude, is he...
He'd get bullied, man.
Like, you're telling me, like, Alex Caruso wouldn't clamp him? Like, dude, I don't know, man. I get why they're on the list, but I'm just saying, like, be mad that, like, George Gervin's on the list or some random great. Not somebody we've seen put up MVP numbers in, like, the most talented era of basketball.
Somebody who's had the best stat line in playoffs history.
Yep. Like, you can look it up, dude.
Like, really.
Look, you can criticize his lack of winning in the playoffs. You can criticize the fact that, he's not the best defender. He's not a good defender. Right? You can criticize so much about Damian. I'm not saying you can't. Like, I'm not saying he's better than, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, at the same time, you can't just act like he hasn't, like, impacted the game. And been a reason why. Like, you can see the dudes like Trey Young, like him and Curry. Like, Curry's definitely been the most impactful from 3-point shooting, but Dame's up there too. You got
Dame's on that list. That top 5 list for sure. A lot
of rookies coming in pulling from the logo these days. Like,
dude, big time.
He's a part of that influence too, man. Like, statistically, the best logo shoot, like, from long range shooter, like, ever. So.
It really is.
You can't say that he hasn't done anything for the game or that he hasn't accomplished anything. Like, I get he doesn't have a ring, but, like, dude.
Pick something else to argue about.
Yeah.